Now, I don't think it's exactly breaking news that after the disastrous release of Snow White in theaters, after the year's worth of backlash, after the changes to the story, this weird, creepy CGI dwarves, and that entire controversy, not exactly a surprise that Snow White went on to become a total and complete disaster, and everyone knows that it's such. Now you see headlines like this. Now it's been officially pulled from theaters. Snow White becomes Disney's worst performing live action remake in nearly 10 years. You have to go back to Pete's Dragon remake, which made about $170 million. The thing that they leave out of that is that only cost $60 million to make, as opposed to Snow White, which cost well over $300 million. But yeah, and with $200 million at the box office. We saw the media desperately try to spin things this entire time, the entire lead up. And now here we are with its debut on Disney Plus, and we're seeing the same exact thing. Rachel Zegler's Disney remake becomes instant streaming hit after $205 million box office disappointment. Now, Jade, you know why it's an instant streaming hit?
I have no idea.
Because it's number one on Disney Plus, Jay.
Oh, okay.
The number one movie on Disney Plus. That is an incredible achievement. I mean, for a streaming platform that has no original movies that come out, for a streaming platform that, you know, only has old stuff that people are watching on it, for it to be the number one movie on Disney Plus, that must be a major achievement. I mean, you only see that for stuff like massive box office successes that have high demand, like, you know, Deadpool and Wolverine. That must be why it's being celebrated as a massive streaming hit. It's not like every single movie that comes out for Disney in theaters and then goes to Disney Plus becomes number one for a few day period. And that couldn't be the case, right? Well, I mean, I guess it was for Captain America Brave New World. It did debut at number one on Disney Plus. Not a whole lot of demand for that movie in theaters, not a whole lot of demand after. But I mean, it's not like massive box office disasters for them go on to become number one on Disney Plus. That never happens. I mean, except for The Marvels. The Marvels is currently the number one film on Disney Plus. Because of the dog shit streaming service that Disney Plus actually is, because they don't have any original content on there. This is what happens for every single movie that goes from theaters the first couple days on Disney Plus. And then after a few days, it gets overtaken by Moana or Coco or Lilo and Stitch the animated, like something like that. That's what we see literally every fucking time we get a release like this. Yet it's being spun as a massive streaming hit, Jay.
I wonder if all it takes is like an hour at number one. And then they can say that they can make that claim. Honestly, how do we even know? I mean, they don't release the numbers here, do they? Like, it's hard to find like exactly what the streaming numbers are. Every time I hear about Disney Plus, when Disney actually releases numbers, it's because they've lost billions of dollars. That's like all I ever hear. So it's like, how is that even cool to say that you're number one on a streaming service that's losing money? Like, how does that even work? But here we are.
And like I said, it would be a little different for, say, Netflix, which does come out with like original shit fairly often on there when it comes to that stuff, or at least new stuff that is like coming there from like maybe another platform, never been on there. Disney doesn't produce any original movies, essentially. Yeah. The things that are consistently at the top are Moana, Lilo and Stitch recently because of the live action adaptation coming out. So people are rewatching that animated one. Some of their old classic Pixar movies, like those are the things that are typically up there.
Isn't Bluey up there too?
That's TV, not movie.
That's TV. Okay.
Right. So that's TV, not a movie, which is why it wouldn't be in that category. But when we do come out with like the Nielsen ratings, like this is why.
Got it.
This is why it's important to understand. The Marvels debuts number one streaming, but so let's like make these comparisons. The good news ends right there. Overall, this performance wasn't in line with what Marvel and Disney would have hoped. The Marvels, I think it debuted with like 580 million minutes watched for its first week, right? When the Nielsen ratings finally came out. For comparison, during the first streaming week of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, that title managed 1.62 billion viewer minutes. Even Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania surpassed the Marvels as the third Ant-Man film garnered 766 million minutes. In short, the Marvels manage only 73% of Quantumania and 34% of the third Guardians movie. It's almost like those things line up very close to the box office demand, right? We see the same exact thing when they go from the box office, from the theater to Disney Plus. So it's like such a joke.
Stupid.
There's still a desperate effort to pretend like this is a success in some way. Instant streaming hit because for a few days it was #1 on Disney Plus, like every other movie that comes out on Disney Plus.
A lot of cope. I guess I don't know. I'm waiting for Rachel Zegler to post that on her Instagram that it's #1 on Disney.
Oh my God. That would be good.
Yeah, exactly. See, I told you it wasn't a failure. We're #1.
Like shout out to the haters, wink or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Bro, I hope she does it because then I'd be able to make another video.
This is for all you No King protesters out there. We did it. #1.
Yeah, no kings, but we got a queen of Disney Plus.
Right.
Like something like that, bro. That would be really funny.
Yeah, no, that would be great.
I hope she does. I hope she does.
Weird.
Weird.